I was asked recently about my level of exhaustion. This is, don't you get tired of having to lead? And it was asked in the context of coaching in people with really, really big goals heading into this next Olympic cycle. And I referred to it as an obligation. You don't have a choice when you have other people depending on you from a leadership and an empathy standpoint, in leading by example, in leading with proper emotion, and leading with proper consideration for what other people have entrusted you with. It's an obligation. And do you feel, and I'm violating every law of being a lawyer, asking a leading question, do you feel that there are a lot of people who suffer from missed opportunity in life by failing to recognize that beyond making your car payment, paying your property taxes, right, that you lose an opportunity by not recognizing that obligation?
The obligation to
lead.
To lead?
Yeah.
Absolutely. The things you listed off, paying your taxes, making a car payment, paying your mortgage, those aren't things that you can choose to do or not to do. You cannot negotiate with those obligations. And I think sometimes we look at life and we just go through life of, what am I required to do? Like, what is the bare minimum that I have to do to get by, to get to the next chapter or get this next promotion? And too many people assume that it is given instead of being earned. I've been at this job for 3 years. I've done what you asked me to do. Why aren't I getting promoted?
Oh,
why is this person getting the job over me? Well, you did the bare minimum, but you're competing against people who have earned the opportunity because they have embraced the leadership opportunity. They've leaned in. They've done the extra work. And we are all being called in different ways to step up.
Yeah.
I think that is the when it comes down to, like, we have to step up and seize the opportunity. Like, when I first got started building this business, there weren't many opportunities. I had to go find and search for the opportunity. That was the hardest part. And then as you start building a business and a brand, the opportunities start becoming more plentiful. And I'm sure you can relate to this. In the beginning, it's what is the next step? I have to go find this next step. Then you get to a point where it's, now I have 1,000 next steps. And you have two options. You can go chase down every next step, or you can be selective and very intentional of which next step is right for right now. But you have to earn that ability and opportunity to have 1,000 next steps. In the beginning, you're searching for one. And that is a learned skill and adaptation of, what do I say yes to? What do I say no to? What is aligned with my core values, my purpose, my beliefs, my goals, and what is not? That's vision. I've talked about this many times on my podcast, but one of the best books I've read in the last year is BE 2.0 by Jim Collins, Beyond Entrepreneurship 2.0. Chapter 4 is the vision chapter. And it talks about clearly defining and clarifying your vision, whether it's for your business, your professional career, your personal life. Because if we don't know where we're trying to get to next, it's really hard to make the decisions today for where we want to go, because we don't know. Vision tells us where we want to go, what we want to accomplish. So if you can clearly define your core values, your purpose, and your goals, then what you say yes to and what you say no to is a very easy yes or no. But you have to have those clearly defined. Vision is critical to be a leader for other people and for yourself.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And There are some people I think who lean into it intuitively, and then other people who may struggle with it a bit more through no fault of their own. I think some people have a knack for it. And it's my firm belief, having known you for 5 years, that you just simply intuitively have this uncanny knack for knowing exactly what micro pivots to make almost every step of the way. It's been remarkable for me to watch.
I appreciate that. It's interesting you bring that up. I was just listening to a book on my run this morning talking about intuitive leadership. And the way it was explaining that there are people who are naturally born leaders, and then there are people who are developed leaders over time. And I don't believe that one is better than the other, or one has more advantage than the other. In order to develop your leadership abilities and skills, this just comes with exposure, consistency, repetition. But intuitive leadership is actually a very critical component of being a leader. You can have all the data in front of you. I'm sure you can attest to it being a lawyer. Just because you have all the facts doesn't mean you're going to win the case.
Absolutely not.
You have to have intuition. You have to approach a case with objective data and then subjective. There is the data, there's the feel. Intuition, that calibrated gut, that is foundational in being a leader.